ayy. Let's be with that drama, ayy. Saw that baddie mama, ayy. Told her I don't wanna, ayy. Come up, ayy. Let's be with that drama, ayy. Saw that baddie mama, ayy. Told her I don't wanna, ayy.
Went out, caught me a red fly. Too many people on a bandwagon. Done been through that hellfire. Came out lethal like a red dragon.
Yeah, get ready for that pound. Gonna pound those ear holes, bitches.
But you sold your soul. You a warlock. I'm the dark assassin. Said thick stacks, mo change.
Welcome to the podcast, bitches. Welcome. Willkommen.
Gains, big stats, mo fame. We back stunts, said big names on stage. Big trap, no shame. Going in, running that big check. My name, sign that, mo rain. Come back, I'ma just
Yeah.
Ayy, let's be with that drama, ayy. Saw that baddie mama, ayy. Told her I don't wanna, ayy. Come up, ayy. Let's be with that drama, ayy. Saw that baddie mama, ayy. Told her I don't wanna, ayy. Come up, ayy. Let's be with that drama, ayy. Saw that baddie mama, ayy. Told her I don't wanna, ayy. Come up, ayy. Let's be with that drama, ayy. Saw that baddie mama, ayy. Told her I don't wanna, ayy.
Went out, caught me a red fly. Too many people on a bandwagon. Done been through that hellfire. Came out lethal like a red dragon. Same old rapper with the same old flows. Color dreads with the pants sagging. Got that fame, but you sold your soul. You a warlock, I'm the dark assassin. Said thick stacks, mo
Here we
change,
go, you
big
ready?
facts, faux chains, get that
You
money, said
ready?
big facts, no games,
You
big stats,
ready
mo fame.
for
We
the
back stunts,
Swole?
said big names on stage. Big trap, no shame. Going in.
Ooh, that's off center as fuck.
The sun is shining, the birds
What's up
are
with that,
chirping,
huh?
the bacon is sizzling.
There we go.
Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Awkward. All right. Testing. Testing, testicles. A testicles. Oh, welcome everyone to episode 1158 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beercast, broadcast, gangcast, mancast, pimpcast, sleazecast, and slaycast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. Welcome everyone to 1158. Thank you so much for being here, live on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, and Twitch. So pinch your nips if you're ready for some sick fucking gains. Are you ready? Are you ready? Because daddy's here. Are you ready for some sick fucking gains? I think you are. What's up, beaches? What's good? Thank you for banging ye old ear holes and, of course, your eye holes with some sick fucking gains. It's your boy. Your boy is here. He's here. Hello. It's Papa. Papa's here. Daddy's home. Daddy's home. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. What's good? What's going on, Sean? So excited to be here. It's been forever since I've been at a live. Well, now you're here. And now everything is complete. Everything has come full circle. Now your life is complete. Just think, everything in your life has led you to this moment. Everything that you've done in your entire life has led you to this podcast. Everything that you have done has led you here. Everything. From the people that you've met, the children that you've bore, everything has led you to this podcast. Isn't that fucking weird? Isn't that weird that maybe if you didn't have sex and give birth to a child, that you might not be watching this episode right now? It's so strange if you think about all the sequence of events that will bring all of us together at this moment. Creepy shit. What's up, Ramon? What's up, everybody? What's up, Papa Swole? Your first time catching the stream. Thank you. If it's your first podcast, if it's your first slamcast, your first mancast, your first pimpcast, if it is your first time, you have to pinch your nips. You have to. And you have to say it's your first time. What up? What up? That Baywatch edit was sick, bro. The team did that. Team Swole, baby. Team Swole. It's all our shit's fucking in-house. All our shit's in-house. Nothing is better. Nothing is greater than the Swole fam. And nothing is greater than the Swolenormous team. We're small, but we're swole. We're small, but deep. We go deep. We go deep. Swole goes deep. That's what we do. That's what we do. How many of you caught that picture? I posted on Facebook and Instagram. Oh, and YouTube and Twitter. I posted everywhere, I believe. Yeah, so make sure that if you use other platforms, if you use other apps, make sure that you follow me on all those too. Don't just be a jabroni and follow me on YouTube and be like, oh, he only makes YouTube videos. How come you don't post content like this? How come you don't post training content? I post a lot of shit everywhere. Every platform that you like to use, I am there. Trust me, I'm everywhere. Plus, we got blogs on the website. We got everywhere. I'm everywhere. Don't ask me, how come you don't post workout stuff? I have workout shit fucking everywhere. I do it all. I go deep. Oh, that's interesting. You're going to have to explain that to his teacher. John Rogers, my 10-year-old hears me listening to the podcast and now talks about pinching his nips. Yep. Sounds about right. So my work here is done. Sounds like 1,158 episodes have been a success. That literally is just defining of the success of this podcast. I didn't want to say anything, but that's the real reason why I started doing this podcast. I'm like, I am going to get every 10-year-old possible to pinch their fucking nips. And if I can't, I will die trying. And apparently success. Sweet success. As long as he doesn't start talking about the knowledge cock. Yeah, you might have to get some... John, you might have to invest in some headphones, brother. You know, it's funny. I've been getting a lot of people messaging me. I guess it's some kind of a trend on YouTube or somewhere. A lot of people in the fitness community are posting videos like who to follow on Instagram, who to follow on YouTube, who to follow in the fitness industry, because obviously there's so many accounts that are just fucking bullshit and people that don't know what the fuck they're talking about. So a lot of people, I noticed in one post, someone tagged me or sent it to me, and I saw in the comments, everyone's like, you should follow Swole Normus. And the person said something like, well, I don't want to share it because, yeah, I know I've heard he's really good, but I don't want to share it because of the language. Oh, you fucking pussy, you fucking bitch. God damn it. People are still worried about language. I don't want to share it because he talks about knowledge cock. I don't want to share because he says naughty words. Yes, I say naughty words because I can. I don't fucking care. God damn it. Say whatever the fuck I want. He's going to learn a lot more worse words than fuck and twat and cunt. He's going to hear a lot of shit here on the podcast. This has to be a safe look. You know what's funny? This is language acceptance. This is the language acceptance movement here. I'm starting to say whatever the fuck you want because you want to movement. Don't get offended by words anymore. I say words on purpose. It's filtering. It's filtering all the fucking jabronis. If you can't handle it, get the fuck out. If you can't handle some naughty words, then you can leave. You can go and watch the Disney Channel. You can go and check out Nickelodeon if you don't like it. All right? It's cool. I get it. It's not for everyone, but I also don't give a fuck if you don't like it. You know what I'm saying? There's something for everyone. And I'm telling you, snowflake culture is dead. It's dying. It's melting. It better be melting. Fuck. I'll make sure I'll turn the blowtorch on. Ramon, it's not about the words, about the knowledge. The words bring out into a sentence. Yeah. Well, it's the knowledge cock, the knowledge pipe, whatever you want to call it. You naughty boosh. Yes, I am. Best podcast ever because of the non-PC. I appreciate that. I take pride in not being politically correct. But what is political correctness? It's just the state of what people get offended by. And there's always different states. There's always someone to be offended. Someone's always going to get offended. You're never going to be perfect. You're never going to toe the line and make everyone happy. Never, ever, ever, ever. Fuck. Obviously, even if you get elected president, like the majority of people hate you. Even if you get elected, people don't like you. So it's like 50-50. You have 150 plus million people that don't like you and don't want you in office, and you get elected anyway. It's nuts. They can sip their unicorn jizz flavored Starbucks coffee. In lieu of the whole Starbucks fiasco, which is probably no fault of Starbucks, it's that fucking employee who probably should be finding a new job right now. I'm going to be doing another three-day special launch of the Fuck Your Pink drink, because now the Fuck Your Pink drink applies even more. Fuck that shit. Fuck anyone that would kick out law enforcement. That is frustrating. I haven't seen the latest, like what has happened since. I know Starbucks has apologized, but fuck. Talk about the people, the person that asked police officers, get the fuck out. That's so rude. That's so rude. And you know what's even more respectful for law enforcement is that they left. Isn't that crazy? That an employee, that someone felt uncomfortable because of police presence for who the fuck knows why. Like, who the fuck knows why, like, you would feel uncomfortable when police officers are there? People that have sworn to protect you with guns are around you. That sounds like a pretty good deal. Sounds like a pretty safe place to be. I don't know about you, but I'm always happy when I see a police officer. I'm always happy when I see one in the area. And I'm sure if you had a bad experience with law enforcement before, or you're a bad person, you're probably not going to feel the same way. But if you see someone like law enforcement around, that usually means like, all right, shit's going to be okay. Shit's going to be straight. Like, you have someone who's trained to use the weapons. That is, it's crazy. Anyway, you probably had warrants. Who the fuck knows? Down with the snowflakes, and I don't understand why the fuck there's a pink drink. A pink drink. Oh, you got your shirt today. Nice. Mine was delivered today. Can't wait to wear it later. Fuck yeah. Trust issues, obviously. No shit. Was it a guy or was it a female that felt uncomfortable? I don't know, actually. I don't know. I didn't read one way or the other in the articles. I just really saw the headlines and got a gist for a couple stories, but I'm sure there's a lot more that has come out since then. Obviously, you're not black, Papa Swolio. You'd be surprised. This podcast is too thick and swole to siphon through everyone's system. That's true. That's obviously true. Anna Squirrel. Not me. Many good people who are black have good reason to be afraid of cops. Many of them shoot black people for. There's a lot of. No, let's not get into that. That's not true. That's not true. There have been a lot. You know what? A lot. If you follow some police accounts on Instagram, you know what's interesting? And I'm not saying it doesn't happen or hasn't happened, but there's been. Think about this. Yeah, people try cops too much. That's the thing. If you push police officers and you push them, people do that because they're like, oh, they're not going to do anything. They're cops. They're not supposed to do anything. Well, if they're human beings and if you do wrong shit and you don't, most of these issues, most of the problems, when you actually watch the full footage, the thing is, it's a headline grab. It's a headline grab. So when you see a clip or a headline on CNN or Fox News, sites and videos and news stations and news outlets that are trying to get your clicks or trying to get your attention. So they're going to say whatever, and they're going to use those headline grabs in order to get your attention and clicks. And a lot of times the story is only partially released. And in reality, the person or the suspect was really resisting, was really aggressive, and there was no other option. And they actually drew a weapon, whether it's fake or not. You don't fucking whip something out of your pocket really fast. There's a lot of shady shit. And when you're in a high stress situation and it's at night and people are aggressive, if you just fucking go along and you don't resist someone with a weapon, a lot of times things don't go that bad. Shocker. I'm not going to argue with you. I really don't care about the details of what you're saying, Anna. I don't. I mean, that's not the point of this. The point is that they're far more good than bad. And look, you have Catholic priests running around that just fuck boys. And they're not getting in trouble. So with every single institution, it's human nature. And I think we can all agree on that. There's human nature and no one's perfect and nothing can be perfect. There are teachers that fuck students. There are Catholic priests that fuck boys. There are cops that make poor decisions or split-second decisions that are wrong. And it's like, it's just, nothing's 100%. There are fitness people that give bullshit advice. There are everything. There are politicians that are good. There are politicians that are fucking criminals. There are all sorts of things. So anyway, that being said, there's usually more to the story. But what's shocking is a lot of times there's so much more to the story, but people grab headlines, is my point. And I'm literally saying that because I grabbed a headline when it came to the Starbucks thing. I didn't read all the details about it. And I don't know if anyone really does, because who really cares about all the details? But it's important if you're really going to make a broad, an actual statement about it. But people that report the news and do that kind of stuff usually just read headlines and then report without actually knowing and seeing the whole body cam footage when it comes to police officers and shit like that. There's so much stuff with the police officers when you see a bad headline and you look at the whole body cam footage, you're like, oh my God, it's completely the opposite of what that headline said. And it happens a lot. I have a lot of close people in my circle that are in law enforcement, and there's a lot of fucking bull. They get hosed. They get really, really hosed. So, it's like we respect the military so much. We respect the military and all that, and they're going overseas and they're fighting battles that they fucking shouldn't. And you can have your own opinions about that. But when you're a police officer, every time you fucking leave the door, you're in a war. You're a target. You're a walking target. Hey, I'm a cop. You're literally putting a target on your back every fucking moment of every fucking day. When you come home from the military, it's like, okay, you're on leave. You can punch out. When you're a cop, you're always fucking on. You're always, every day. Every day. It's nuts. Yeah. So anyway. That was contextual. That was completely off topic from what we're going to talk about. We're getting there. Papa Swole, do you recommend working out when sick? No, I don't. Don't compare. So let's get to the Hunger Mind Games. We will. You can always fast forward later. We will. Don't forget, let's get to the Hunger Mind Games. You asked that. I'm going to fucking talk about, maybe we'll never get to it. Maybe we'll never fucking get there. That's the title. That's why I don't think I'm going to put titles anymore. I'm debating. I don't know if you guys like the titles or not, but sometimes I think I just want to do a podcast and then we'll talk about what we talk about. Because sometimes we have a topic and sometimes it's a general topic. But that's the beautiful thing about the live. We'll get there when we get there. I ain't rush shit. All right. But the topic today is nutrition. It's kind of about hunger. It's kind of about bulking. It's kind of about cutting. It's putting into some more context about your caloric value and your caloric consumption, like your caloric intake relative to what your goal is and what you should be doing and what you think you're doing. Okay. The opposite, back and forth. And I agree, Meredith. Also, when you have people coming in live, people don't get their fucking notifications anymore. How many of you are getting jacked up with your notifications? How many of you are getting just fucking crazy late notifications? That's another thing. The podcast will be whatever the fuck I want it to be. This does not have to be anything. It's what I want it to be. The Daily Swole does not have to be fitness related, and it's not sometimes. It's contextual. So the reason why we have banter and we do it is because it's fun, because it's my fucking show and I'll do what I want. And also because people don't get notifications right away. So there's always an intro and there's always a period where we need to allow people to come in. So no one if I just jump in, I hit the live button and I just start running for 10 minutes, it's going to be over before people get their notifications. And that's a fact. Matthew, I get them 20 minutes late. So yeah, so we're like 10, 15 minutes in. It's perfect timing. Always warm it up, see what's going on, see what the flow is. Because a lot of you sometimes come in and are like, hey, have you heard about this? Hey, we talked about this. So we talk about it. It's a good shit. Gets you on the road. Oh, the beard's on point today. Thank you. The beard. I'm all about eating when you are hungry. Just don't eat to be full most of the time. What's your strategy? So let's get that going in the comments. What's your strategy for eating? Do you eat till you're full? Do you pull one of those, I eat till I'm 75% full? I eat till I'm 80% full. That's a good strategy. What's your strategy when it What's your strategy when it comes to your nutrition? How do you approach it? How do you personally approach it? Do you approach it with like a perceived fullness, or do you approach it from a caloric value? Because we had the accountability meeting. If you are a Swolenormous X member, and if you are a Daily Swole Club member, we had our accountability meeting in the private Facebook group today at 12. So that's on the timeline. If you missed it, you can go and catch it. So we had this conversation that I thought I'd bring to today's episode because it's a really good conversation. And we had an episode 2 days ago about gaining or eating to gain, and eating is gaining. And you need to fucking eat enough food. Like if you're not gaining, you're simply not eating enough food. If you're not gaining, you're not eating enough food. If you are not gaining weight, you are not eating enough food. And I'll say it again for the people in the back. If you're not gaining, you're not eating enough food. That's straight up. That's straight up. If you're not gaining weight, you're not eating enough. And if you're not losing weight, chances are you're eating too much. I mean, you can't starve yourself and you can't be in a caloric deficit for a long period of time and just not lose weight. Like your body doesn't just hold weight. It's like it doesn't happen. And I'll use an extreme example, the concentration camps in World War II. Like people didn't have food and they wasted away to nothing. It was fucking disgusting if you look at the pictures. And it's a horrible, horrible, horrible Holocaust. It's fucking one of the most tragic events and tragic periods of time in human history. And it's caloric restriction. Like when you don't have food, your body has to take from somewhere. And it'll take from fat stores, it'll take from muscle, it'll take from organs like stores in the liver and shit like that, until you don't have enough nutrients to survive and you go into organ failure. You go into just, your body just crashes out. You don't have the fuel necessary. It's like your car. If you don't have gas, your car is not going to run. It's not going to run. It's going to shut down. It's going to, and then it's going to just fucking stop. So you need fuel in order to move. You need fuel. The problem with the hunger mind games is your feeling of being full will keep you from either gaining or from losing, your perception. And this is where usually what I say about counting calories diverges. And I still believe and I still promote the fact that you should be focusing on food quality first. And again, I will continue to clarify this. You should be focusing on what you're eating first. That is my wholehearted belief. It's not about caloric restriction from the start. It's about making better choices and setting better habits, learning how to prepare your food, eating whole foods, not going for supplements, not weighing on the scale, not micromanaging from the start. You need to start by making better decisions. Very few people are gaining tons of weight by eating tons of vegetables and tons of wholesome foods with no dressings and shit. Like, people are not overeating quality food. They're overeating junk. And there's other things when it comes to quality, right? If you're focusing on quality in the process of figuring out which foods are best for you and eating whole foods, you're going to figure out which foods cause maybe sensitivities. So you're going to get more energy from making better food choices. And that's individualized to you. You're going to have more energy. You're going to have better performance in the gym and exercise. You're going to sleep better. You're going to have less joint pain, all those things that can come from sensitivities from food. And a lot of people just completely ignore this fact that food quality does matter. It does matter. I mean, you're going to tell me that steak and potatoes is the same as let's say it's 1,000 calories of steak and potatoes. You're going to tell me that's the same thing for the body than a supersized Big Mac meal at McDonald's? Like, get the fuck out of here. If you're telling me that those calories, that's all the same, you are completely batshit fucking retarded. You are. You're out of your fucking mind. So that concept needs to be stricken from the record. Now, if you're going really nuanced situations and you're like that's not a debate that I'm interested in, because counting calories and caloric value and the quality, I'm not saying that quantity doesn't matter. I never say that. I say stop counting calories as like a clickbait type thing. It's like, stop counting calories. What the fuck are you talking about? I've always been told to count calories. Click, and then you get the actual information. It's just like YouTube. You have a thumbnail. I mean, it's an attention grab so you can hear the information. It has to entice you. But the principle is true. You don't need to count calories generally when you are making better decisions, but it depends on what your goal is. If you are specifically trying to gain a lot of weight, you need to make sure you're in a caloric surplus. If you're not going to gain weight. So the quantity matters. So you might have to pay more attention to the value that you're eating. If you're trying to lose weight and you're really trying to make significant progress, it will behoove you to be aware of how many calories you're consuming so you can make sure that happens. However, when you're eating quality foods, when you're eating wholesome foods, when you're getting in all your macronutrients and your micronutrients and you're eating real fucking food, making better decisions, it's much easier to not overeat, and it's much easier to avoid those issues and those side effects from making poor food choices. That's what I say. So if you're going after quality first, the quantity and the caloric counting and measuring, that can be like a piggyback. But I definitely think that your focus primarily should be the quality, and then you can supplement that and then focus on the quantity, because it's going to be much easier for you to manage your quantity if you have your quality locked down. And you can drop your opinions down below, but that's the best starting point, is changing your mindset that all food is equal, which is not. Just because you can put something in your mouth, I use the analogy of dirty dicks. You wouldn't put an AIDS dick with cuts all over it in your fucking mouth. That's a dirty fucking dick. You don't want AIDS dick. And bad food is equivalent to AIDS dick. And you don't want that. You don't want that. So that's your life lesson for the day. You don't want dirty fucking bleeding AIDS dick in your mouth. No dirty dicks. Okay? No dirty dicks. If you have clean dick, then you can make better choices. Then you can quantify how much dick do I want, but it's clean. So it's like you're making a good choice at least. And then it's like, how much dick do you actually want? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I don't know personally, but I mean, I'm sure someone out there sucks a dick. Someone watching sucks dick. I don't know. You don't have to comment below. You don't have to, I don't need more details, but you get what I'm saying. So that being said, the hunger mind games, what's your perception of how full you are? What's your perception of how hungry you are? And it's all relative to what your body's used to. If your body is used to consuming 2,000, and this is the conversation we had in the accountability meeting. If your body is used to eating, let's say 2,000 calories. If your body is used to eating 2,000 calories a day, if you're trying to gain 2,250 is going to make you feel full. 2,500, you're going to feel stuffed. Okay. If you're used to eating 1,500 a day and you're maintaining at 1,500 and you go to eat 2,000 every day, you're going to feel full. You're going to feel stuffed. Like, oh my God, I can't eat anymore. Oh my God, I need a little bit more, but I need to hit 2,000. I need to hit 2,500. You're going to feel full relative to what your body is used to consuming. You're going to feel full in comparison to the volume that your body is used to processing, that your body is used to having in the stomach. That's how it works. So it's not that the perception, and a lot of people have this perception that, oh my God, I'm eating way too much, I'm going to get fat. Because we had this conversation earlier, again, in the accountability meeting, the person that we're breaking this down for, she lost a lot of weight. So she's afraid, rightfully so, and I understand that, she's afraid to try to gain, she's afraid to eat more calories because she doesn't want to get fat again. Right? She doesn't want to get fat again. And I get that. However, you still need to be in a caloric surplus if you're trying to put on some weight, if you're trying to put on some size and put on some muscle. You can recomp a little bit, perhaps, if you're eating enough protein, right? You're consuming enough protein, you're maintaining. Like, you could still probably build muscle, maybe lose a little bit of fat if you're changing and tweaking your macro intake, but that's really micromanaging. It's really hard for people to be that consistent and that granular in order to recomp. So I really just kind of avoid that concept for the most part, just because most people don't get that specific with their nutrition. And I don't like promoting that type of micromanaging. That's not my bag. So when it comes to bulking and gaining some size, you're going to have to eat when you feel full. That's it. You're going to have to eat when you feel full if you're trying to put on. And the reason why is because if you're eating past your maintenance, your body doesn't want more. I said this in a video I did. I took a clip from one of the recent episodes on Instagram and Facebook. So make sure you're following there if you're not. And I said that your body does not want to change. Your body doesn't want to lose weight. Your body doesn't want to lose or build muscle. Your body's fine the way it is. That's work. Do you want to go outside and build a fucking house? Like, oh God, I don't want to build a house. I'm fine with where I am. I'm fine with my apartment. I'm fine with the house that I have. I don't want to build another one. But then if you're forced to, if someone, let's say you have a house and someone keeps on fucking smashing into, like, a car keeps on running into the house and it breaks like half the house down every couple years. You're like, fuck, if I moved the house back like 30 feet, it wouldn't be that close to the road and cars wouldn't hit it. So you're like, oh, I don't want to move it. If it happens once, you're like, shit, that was a fluke. You're not going to move your house. You're going to rebuild that room or that window, and then it's fine. If it happens again, you're like, that was a fluke occurrence. Like, oh shit. But if it keeps on happening fucking like every couple months, you're like, I need to move this fucking house. I know it's a weird example, but you're going to move it if you're forced to. You're like, well, fuck, I can't keep rebuilding the same thing. Why not move it back 30 feet? And then all of a sudden you won't have that issue anymore. So even though it's not necessarily a realistic example, that's what the body goes through. If you constantly expose it to an external stimulus, or you constantly expose it to extra calories, your body is going to get the point. and adapt, but your body doesn't want to do it. You have to force it. That's why it's an adaptation. You have to force an adaptation. If you move to a colder climate, it's going to feel super cold when you first go there, but then eventually you'll still feel cold, but you will adapt more to it. Your blood will thicken and thin, vice versa. If you go to a hot climate, it'll feel super fucking hot, but after a while, you get used to the hot. You expect that kind of hot. Like when I first moved down to Florida, I was on the beach on January 1st. I was on the beach in the winter. Now, you can't catch me fucking dead at the beach. You can't catch me at the beach unless it's hot as fuck. I'm not going to the beach in January. It's freezing because 70 degrees or 78 degrees is cold for me now. Okay. And that's just relative to being in 97 degrees with like 100% humidity. It's like a fucking steam room. So it's only relative. So when you're eating and you need to eat more, you can't go by how you feel. That's why it's important to calculate. So if you really have goals and you want to gain, you need to make sure you're in a surplus. Because if you're not going to gain. If you want to lose, you have to be in a deficit, because if not, you're not going to gain, not going to lose. You have to make sure that those numbers are accurate. So even if you're full, if you look at your calculations and you realize I still need to eat 500 calories, then it doesn't matter if you feel full. Your body wants to maintain, so it's going to stop. If you want to gain, you're going to have to eat more. That's how it works. Doesn't matter if you feel tired. Doesn't matter if you feel full. If you need to eat 500 more calories, guess what? You got to eat 500 more calories. Otherwise, you're not going to grow. You're not going to gain. You want to lose weight, you got to be under your caloric maintenance. Otherwise, you're not going to lose. It's just like that. You have extra energy. Your body is going to keep it because your body wants to stay the same. That's the clarification that you need. Your body wants to stay right there. Where are you maintaining at? What's your maintenance level? That's what your body wants to be at. Your body wants to maintain. Why? Because it's adapted to it already. It's adapted. It feels comfortable. That's where your body is adapted. That's where it wants to stay. Simple. Simple. So you can't succumb to how you feel. Just because you feel full doesn't mean you are full. I mean, it does. It can mean but it just means you hit your maintenance. If you want to maintain, you're all set. But if you want to grow, you have to ignore that shit. That's why it's hard to grow. How many people like to stuff their face extra with real food? It's not like, hey, have another thing of fries. Hey, have some more ice cream. Ooh, that's cool. You're going to get fat. You're going to put on fucking bullshit weight. You want to put on lean mass. You want to do it right. You're going to have to eat more of the wholesome foods. And that's brutal. A lot of people can't do that or have a struggle with that. Understandably so. You're forcing it in. That's why the smaller meals frequently are beneficial to bulking, because you split it up throughout the day. But understand that quality of the food is number one, and then the quantity is a close fucking second. Piggyback on that number one and make sure you're not eating too much or you're eating more than your maintenance if you are trying to bulk or cut, whatever that is. All right. You're trying to lose, you got to eat less. You're trying to bulk, you got to eat more. But you can't listen to what your body says. That's why it's good to calculate that. And if you're still not gaining or you're still not losing and you're counting calories and you're tracking blah, 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 but I don't know what it is because I'm counting my calories, I'm doing this, you're not counting them right. It's not a perfect system. If you're still not losing, you're eating too much. If you're still not gaining, you're not eating enough. That's the fucking simplest way to explain it. It's common sense. If you need 10 calories to maintain, and you're eating 10, you're going to maintain. You're trying to bulk, you need 15, you need 20, you need 30. The more you eat at one time, if you overeat like 1,000 every day, you're going to put on a lot more fat because you're not growing lean mass that quickly. So it depends on how clean you're trying to do it. What are your thoughts on that? Let's get some feedback. And I only keep food around that is okay for me to eat. If chips are around, I'll eat them, hungry or not. I bring my food to work and I plan when I'm eating to get home. That's cool. I mean, you have to do what's right for you. I mean, if you don't have the will to resist the chips, I mean, what are they doing in your house anyway? There's really no need to have them there. I do understand people love their cheat meals, but don't use that as an excuse. It's up to you. I mean, if you feel okay with eating shit food once in a while, it's not going to make, you'll be fine. But it depends. Again, I'm going to go back one more time. Again, that's why it's important with the quality. For some people, if you have some ice cream once in a blue moon, might not be bad. If you figure out which foods you're really sensitive to or that really fuck you up, you're able to avoid those. Because some foods for some of you, and you can drop that in the comments below which foods those are, there are some foods that even if you have them once in a while, if you eat them, they are going to fuck you up. You are going to have the shits all day. You are going to have a migraine for 3 fucking days. You're going to feel miserable. And for some foods, so you need to know what your range is. You need to know what you can get away with. That's the truth. Some people, when they have cheat meals, they can get away with it more often, or they feel, and I'm not saying it doesn't, who knows what's going on inside the body? I can't even say that. I can say it's not a good choice to eat fast food, but some people might do it like, hey, look at my abs. All right, you're rolling the dice on that. And the more you expose yourself to those things, who knows what it's doing inside your body? Some people, you can't just go off the number of calories. You don't know what those artificial things are doing inside, those things that aren't found naturally in nature, these other compounds, these chemically, constructed in a lab to stimulate you don't know what that's really doing. Okay. Science can't even test that shit. You don't know the long-term effects. We don't know because we're still in the middle of all these massive changes to our lifestyle and our nutrition. And all I know is that people are getting sicker and fatter and more fucking unhealthy. So whatever combination, whatever the actual cause and causes are in the combinations, it's not going in the right direction. So a lot of the stuff that we're doing is not right. So the fundamental message that we're sending out with health and fitness is not covering the right shit. And we can still talk about calorie counting and measuring, but we've been talking about calories and people have been measuring calories for decades and people are still getting fucking fatter. So it has to do with, why are we going over? Why are we still overeating? It's because we're eating shit fucking garbage. That's why we're eating shit. It's easy to overeat shit. It's hard to manage shit. It's not just willpower. They're fucking addictive. The foods are addictive because they're designed to be. Why? They want you to buy more. It's not fucking rocket science. They want you to buy more food. So they're going to make it taste so good. They're going to trigger certain things in your fucking brain in order to get you hooked on them. So you have to have that food. You have to buy another box. You have to have another sip. You have to, because your body fucking is going nuts without it. That's what they want. It's selling you more. It's not hard to understand. They want you to buy more soda because it costs them absolute fucking pennies to make, and they're making 10,000% profit every time you buy a 2-liter bottle of Coke. They're making so much money. It's recycled plastic. It's fucking filtered or reverse osmosis water from some local municipal source that they don't pay for, that they're fucking robbing from the water table. And they're just pumping full of high fructose corn syrup from GMO corn that they're subsidizing. It's fucking almost free for these companies to make this shit, aside from the shipping and blah, blah, blah. And they put in the plastic and then it sits in a hot car or a hot truck for weeks and it just leaches plastic have fun with that. Enjoy. Enjoy. Yes, it's about money. It's about money. So if you think that the quality is all the same, it's just calories, the fuck out of here. Who are you trying? You're not fooling me. I don't buy that for a fucking second. I know, because personal experience. Some foods I feel like dog shit. You feel like shit. Why do you feel bloated and fucking sluggish? Why do you feel like shit when you have 2 slices of pizza? If you had 500 calories of vegetables, salad, avocado, you're not going to feel like, oh, bloated shit. You're going to feel fucking good. You're going to feel full, like you should after a human being eats food. Like after an animal eats, the animal's full. If you're eating candy and garbage, you're going to eat 5 times as much and you're going to feel like a fucking that sees this. I don't know where the argument is. I don't know what you got some actual credentialed professionals that are saying the opposite. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? How are you helping people? How are you helping people? How the fuck are you helping people? You don't want to help people. You just want to be right. You want to prove something. Oh, this study says this, so this must be right. There's no study that shows that, so that must not be right. Science knows everything? No, they fucking don't. We don't even know what the hell is going on. We can't even go to Mars. We have no idea what the fuck is going on in the universe. We have we have no fucking idea where we are. We don't. We're on Earth. Okay. We gave it a name because we have no fucking idea we have no idea. Are we cells? Are we cells in a bigger organ? We don't know. Isn't that scary to anyone? Oh, we don't fucking know where we are. Oh, I'm in Florida. No, we don't know where we are. We literally have no fucking idea why we're here. We have no fucking clue. And that's it. No fucking idea. Zero. No one knows. No, not a single person in history has ever figured it. No one knows. So you're going to tell me like we know this? Get the fuck out of here. We have an idea. We have things that might point in a certain direction, but we don't know jack shit. So the sooner you realize that, we have to make the best observational and the best scientific, like what we can actually test and what makes sense and what we observe. And we have to make better decisions based on that. But you can't make blanket statements and ignore the fact that quality makes a massive fucking difference. Why do people feel differently? It's in their head. When people consume milk, they just fucking shit their brains out. It's in their head. Oh, they're allergic to it. Yeah, so cut out fucking milk. Well, dairy's not the enemy. Well, for that person, it fucking is. It's not good for that person. Okay, grain. Well, gluten. Yeah, gluten's only for, if you don't have celiacs, gluten's fine. What about gluten sensitivity? What about the millions of people that fucking have major issues from gluten? Can some people eat it? I'm sure. Some people can contort their bodies in ridiculous fucking ways. Does that mean it's bad? No. Can some people eat a slice of bread and not have migraines and joint pain? Sure. Do some people eat bread and have chronic migraines and joint pain all the fucking time so often because they have bread all the time and grains and gluten all the time that it becomes background noise that they don't even realize that the gluten is causing it? Yes, all the time. So it's like, figure it out. That's what the elimination diet is. It's figuring the fucking shit out. Why are we keeping people from empowering themselves? Why are we keeping people from empowering themselves to investigate their own nutrition? Why do we act like there's a map that, oh, this is what you should be eating. Oh, this is right. Oh, this is doing. Like, I want to give you the power. I want to empower you to figure this out yourself. And the fact that you have control and that you can actually do this just by simply testing, by removing them and then seeing how it works, right? Elimination diet. Those of you that are, part of the Daily Swole Club and Swolenormous X, like we talk about that in the private group. Those of you that are in X, you have the whole elimination breakdown, the step-by-step in Swolenormous X, and fucking do it. You cut it out. You cut the foods out, then you test them and you see. And if you're fine, okay, you're fine. Then it's your choice. It's really all about you having the information to make the choices for the right reasons. If you know that this food, let's say, if you know that food X fucks you up, and you go to dinner at someone's place and they offer you food X, you now know that food X fucks you up. So does that mean you don't eat it? It means you have a choice. You know that if you eat that, you are going to feel like shit. You're going to have issues, diarrhea, bloating, whatever it is. You have that information. You're not, it's a mystery and you don't get home like, oh, I wonder what it was. Oh my God, I feel bad. No, you know that tomatoes, whatever, fuck you up. Red peppers fuck you up, or bread or pasta fucks you up. But now you can make an educated decision. And if you eat that and you feel like shit, it's like, well, what do you expect? You knew that was going to happen, but it was your choice to make. You're not flying blind. If you have the information, you can make the choice. You can be in control. You can make that determination with the right information. And you have the ability to get that information, but it's all a matter of whether or not you want to put in that effort. And a lot of people don't. Lazy fucks. But also that, not just that, a lot of people just they don't know that it's possible to figure this stuff out. They don't know that these things are a problem. Most people don't realize that you could have a food sensitivity. You go to an allergy test and like, oh no, you don't have any allergies. Oh, okay. But then you always have bloating and you just can't, your stomach feels all tight and you feel sluggish and your fucking back hurts. Like, what the fuck is going on? And then you actually cut out bread and test it. Like, wow, I feel so much better. Maybe a different kind of bread. Maybe Ezekiel bread doesn't bother you. Maybe that bothers you too. But I mean, at least you're getting information and then you test that and you see how it goes. And you improve your life and you improve your quality. And then you're able to make decisions without sitting there with a calculator. Like, is this good for me? I wonder if I can eat that. Let me check my diet. Let me see if my trainer allows me to eat that. No, you can make your own fucking decisions. You can choose. On the fly, you're aware of what foods are good for you and what can cause you issues. It's not a perfect system, but the more information, the more you learn about your environment, the better decisions you can make. It's like ancient society. If you ate a plant, you would get poisoned and die. You would know, like, okay, I'm not going to go eat that fucking plant. If you didn't know that, you'd eat it and fucking die. Isn't that good information to have if you know that plant does not work well for you? If you ate that plant, you would have major issues and possibly die. That's pretty good information, I would think. And for some people, that could be peanuts. Maybe you have peanuts and you fucking die. Like, you can have major issues. But a lot of this, like things like cancer and all these diseases, a lot of them are just cumulative from exposing yourself to this low level inflammation for fucking 50 or 60 years. You don't get cancer from having a cigar. You don't get cancer from having a drink. You don't. If you are drinking in a large quantity regularly for 30 years, yeah, you can get cirrhosis of the liver. If you're smoking every single day regularly for years, I mean, that varies. Obviously, some people smoke less or more, but you get the point. The more you expose yourself to it, the higher the risk, but at least you understand what those risks are and you know that. Same thing with bad food. You're eating tons of sugar and tons of fucking polyunsaturated oils and these fucking vegetable oils and shit like that, soybean oil, and you're sucking down this. Okay, one meal, you might feel a little bit sluggish or you might have diarrhea or like stomach aches or something like that. But if you expose yourself that pretty much every single day or every couple days for years and years and years and years, couldn't that lead to something? If you're having problems in a micro and you just repeat that fucking bad habit and that fucking inflammation over and over again for 30 years, why could that not cause cancer? Why could that not cause heart disease? Why could that not cause fucking skin conditions that never go away and chronic fucking issues? Why not? Why not? Why couldn't that? Oh no, but there's no proof of that. No, we couldn't. Of course not, because you still want to have your fucking Big Macs and your pizza with a clear conscience. But why are we in denial of this? My point is, if you test it, you can figure out what works best for you, and then you're not at the mercy of any single person or any single diet or any single trend or fad. Create your own fad. Create your own, like, what's good for you? What's your diet? Then you don't have to fucking care this is the new thing, this is the new thing, this is the new thing. There's going to be a new thing tomorrow and the next day and the next day. And there's going to be new meat. They're growing meat. They're doing this. Or make your own decisions. But if you're testing this stuff and you're investing in your own fucking wellness and you're taking control of it and you're fucking taking power over it, then you're not at the mercy of the fluctuations of the social, the social state of fitness and nutrition. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining me for episode 1158 of the Most Muscular Swolecast, Beercast, Broadcast, Gaincast, Mancast, Pimpcast, Sleevescast, and Slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. And an announcement before you all go, I will be out of town Sunday through Wednesday. So I'm planning on, I will be out. And the point that I'm trying to make is the live cast and this is of course a few days in advance, but the live cast will only be streamed in the private group. So if you want access to the private Swolenormous community, you can become a part of it with either a Swolenormous X membership, or you can also support the podcast via the Daily Swole Club, and that will get you access. You'll never miss a live cast. You'll catch all the traveling casts, and you'll be a part of the private community. So you can learn more about all that stuff at swolenormousx.com, either the Daily Swole Club or Swolenormous X memberships, and you'll never miss a Daily Swole podcast. So I'll be talking more about that later in the week, just giving you a little heads up because it's Monday. And for those of you that are part of the Daily Swole Club and Swolenormous X, make sure that you check out today's accountability meeting. It's still on the Facebook group, so make sure you go check that out and you'll see all the new releases and all the stuff that I say that is in development for X, because you had 3 new releases today, 2 new Swollen 7s and a brand new Ashtanga yoga class that's in your studio. So go check that out, and I'll be posting some polls for what you all want to see more of in Swolenormous X later. So if you haven't caught that yet, go check it out. It's in the group, and I'll pin that to the top of the page in the announcements so you don't miss it. But I'll see you tomorrow for episode 1159 of The Sleaze. Peace, McGeese. Deuce, McGoose, your boy, Papa Swolio. Out.